Hey guys, Jujubear here, welcome back to the channel. Today we got a pretty special treat. I've got Seraphim and we're going to be doing a co-commentary on the FIB tournament, which is a faction inheritance battle tournament. Enjoy. From Horatius, we've got a really long line of Levy Freemen, organized about 2 or 3 rank deep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Going to be meat shielding for these sword followers at the back. So we've got 1, 2, 3 sword followers, 1 Oathsworn, 2 more sword followers, and 2 Oathsworn out on the right flank. So he's got a pretty strong right flank there with those 2 Oathsworn, and he's got another one kind of interspersed here. So 7 sword followers, 3 Oathsworn. And he's also got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Celtic slingers, and up the back 2 heavy horse. You want to take the Roman build?
Sure. So just taking a look at Gril's build, we've got the Vigiles up front. Looks like we've got 3 of the meat shields. On the right flank, we've got a legionary cohort, an avocado cohort, with auxiliary cav behind them, and Sakyai Equitai, as well as an avocado cohort and a levy. Down the middle, we have an avocado cohort, a legionary, another avocado cohort, and a legionary cohort on her left flank, followed by auxiliary cav and Sakyai Equites, as well as veteran legionaries and levies, as well as a legatus general. Seems to be a very, very specific build.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like she's hoping to cover her center with those Vigiles, and then also use her auxiliaries out in those flanks to prevent a charge into those all important swords.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Do you want me to count down and we'll hit play?
Yeah, please.
3, 2, 1, go.
So, who do you reckon should be able to take this fight? Just from the army compositions.
Well, going off the last battle that we did, I'm feeling like Gril's got some pretty good chances. I mean, the BOII are pretty tough to come up against, especially when you're playing as Rome, because they do have such strong counters to the Roman swords. But I mean, I don't know. It could go either way. What do you reckon?
You know, I feel like if Grill can blunt the charge of the BOII, then she'll win. But if Horatius can find a way to bypass that charge, I think he'll do fairly well. Though I am a little concerned over the lack of heavy horse. He only has 2. And I'm not sure how that's going to go in this battle. What do you think?
Well, it's interesting to note that the BOII actually have a skirmishing advantage against Rome. So, freaking 5 of these Celtic slingers is going to be pretty amazing to see how they can perform in this kind of fight, especially with such a dominance over the battlefield. They don't really have any answer from the Roman army here. What do you think?
I definitely agree that the problem with the Celtic slingers is that they really don't kill much very well, and act more like missile sponges. But you see this Sakyai Equite getting too far out here, and Freeman chasing it off. So it's little things like that make me wonder about Grill. But it could be the same thing. Maybe she's trying to get them to use their javelins again.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you remember how many javelins those Levy Freemen have in Blade Balance 2.0?
I think they only get 1. They all. I don't quite remember, but yeah, no, it looks like they only get 1 because they're not throwing again right now.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty. You know, why would you bring so many Levy Freemen if they only have 1 javelin? To be honest, like that's pretty much the only reason I would bring Levy Freemen. To act as meat shields is 1, but then also to throw their javelins, because they've got like, what, 4 javelin tosses in vanilla, I think. How do you see that affecting their chances in this battle? I don't know.
Well, again, like you said, it depends on how they're used. If the Levy Freeman can stop, like right out here on the right flank, while these sword followers charge in, then the Avocati are going to be damaged by the very fact that the Levy Freeman simply stopped the Roman charge.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It looks like he's been able to get his heavy horse off onto this flank. It doesn't look like they got the best charge into those Legionary cohort. Auxiliary Cav getting into those Oathsworn, getting a pretty nice charge. They're not taking any losses from those Oathsworn, maybe one. I don't know how I can see two heavy horse having a massive impact on this battle, especially with the lack of skirmishes brought by Rome.
I definitely agree. And these levies out here, do you think they're going to have much of an impact against these Oathsworn?
If they can get out wide, but I mean, they do. I mean, the Socci Equites 2 against 1 up against these heavy horse on this flank. So I mean, there's no reason that those levies can't wrap around the edge and start getting some shots into those Oathsworn, because this really is Gril's strong flank over here with those two Oathsworn. I don't know. How do you see the flank wrapping up?
You know, at this moment, I gotta hand it to Horatius, the Oathsworn out here. He got the charge in there. He is down men though, but he's got the levy free into the Socci Equites, though the heavy horse is coming around, and once that heavy horse gets in there, it can do a fair amount of damage. I think it's a little worried about those levies, but I gotta presume that those levies' ammo is gotta be pretty limited at this point. What do you think?
Yeah, it looks like they're just kind of shooting into the back of their own men as well. Don't know how many kills they're going to pick up doing that kind of thing. Though it is a very cheap unit, and whatever the kills they can pick up on Oathsworn are probably worth it, to be honest. What do you think?
Agreed.
Yeah.
But I definitely concur with your original statement that if the levies had been could come out wider on the side, they could have definitely picked up more kills than they are. And now they're starting to target the heavy horse, but are damaging their own horse in the process. So again, just like you said, pretty much throwing into their own men. What do you think about Rome's displacement now? It seems like it's shifting down here to the left.
Definitely very disjointed. It seems to be odd that they're going into this direction where both of the Oathsworn are. I mean, SH GRIL seems to be pushing this side of the battlefield pretty hard, and it doesn't really seem to be such a good idea, especially... I mean, the Oathsworn are down to about 55 and 47 men respectively, so it could work out quite well for them here if she plays it right. But again, the Auxiliary Cav getting a really nice rear charge in here onto the Shield Wall Oathsworn. That could spell the end for them. How do you think the Celtic Slingers have performed so far in this battle?
The Celtic Slingers have done exactly what they need to do, which is target units that are already engaged and hit them in the back, where I believe that the armor doesn't count. It just seems to me that that Horatius really has a run of the field at this point. What do you think?
Yep, I think it looks like he's content to just bide his time, stay back, just to engage piecemeal, and it looks like he's winning most of those engagements as well. Legionaries in the center being pulled apart by a sword follower and the continued fire of those Celtic Slingers, and you just know those slingers are going to have ammo for days as well. But I spoke a little bit too soon. The SH GRIL is going to be cutting through these Oathsworn, and it looks like Horatius has lost his general. How do you think that will affect the battle?
That's huge for the barbarian tribes. You know, with the discipline trait, that's a big issue. I think the question now is whether she can capitalize on it while Horatius if Horatius can capitalize on it while she's while Horatius have lower morale. Again, these skirmishes are just pouring in this fire. Do you really see it having much of an effect, though?
It doesn't really look like they have the best angle on the Roman troops. I mean, I know that I've heard Heir of Carthage talking about, you know, shielded and unshielded flanks and shots in the rear, and I do believe it does have a pretty big impact on the battle. But if they can get those angles working, that it could work really well in their favor. But the fact that all those Celtic slingers are clumped together means that they can't get those favorable angles happening just yet anyway. But it looks like these Oathsworn are getting wrapped up. How do you see Rome's chances at this point in the battle?
Rome, I gotta say that Rome's looking pretty weak, but then again, it's up against weaker units, sword followers mostly. Evocati is 77 men, 16 men, but the heavy horse, well, the heavy horse is about to break to these levy freemen, and Horatius seems to be doing quite well with the BOII, and GRIL doesn't seem to have much of a response with the Roman units. Do you have any recommendations at this point? I mean, what do you think you could do at this point, really?
I mean, yeah, if I was in this situation, there's not really a whole lot you could do, because the mobility that's still left on the field for GRIL has been thrown into a lot of pretty unfavorable engagements. They got 1 or 2 Saki Equites or auxiliary cav left on the field, but you're going to need a lot more to deal with those Celtic slingers, that's for sure, especially with these heavy horse roaming around. But again, it's all about those angles. It doesn't look like Horatius is really working those angles just yet. I mean, he might feel content to kind of sit in one spot and just defend. And why wouldn't you? It looks a pretty good spot. What do you think about BOII's chances so far? Yeah.
BOII definitely are looking good here. This Evocati cohort's about to get a charge into the levy freemen. But as you said, the Celtic slingers just kite away, as well as the sword followers. And they're content to just sit back and shoot, at point blank. And it looks like the Romans are about to lose their legatus. What do you think that's going to mean for the Romans at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably less about the loss of a general, but more about the loss of mobility as well, because they desperately need that to get into those Celtic slingers. And it looks like these Evocati cohort are going to pay dearly with 5 Celtic slingers just focus firing in this guy. This is absolute murder right here. Even though they do have 90 armor, but that armor can only take you so far. I don't know. Absolutely. Do you reckon this looks winnable for Rome at this point? Does SH GRIL have a chance?
No, not at all. I think Horatius has taken this. He might have been feeling a little bit upset over that first game. Yeah. And he's certainly showing it now. Looks like we got one Evocati cohort again being shot pretty exclusively by these slingers, and the heavy was being brought in to probably finish off this match. And quite a bit of units left on the field, don't you think?
Yeah, it seems like the end of the game turned out a little bit more one-sided than I originally thought it would. So pretty interesting to see that the BOII just kind of took their time, used their slingers to good effect, and it seemed to work out pretty well for them. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You care to go over Horatius's BOII results there?
Yeah, I'd love to. So we got these Oathsworn, 3 of them, getting lots and lots of kills, 135, 119, and 167, double XP chevrons and singles on 2 of them. Pretty nice stuff. 2 of them were taken out of the fight fairly early out in the flank, and I was surprised to see how little of an effect that had on the rest of the troops there. The heavy horse, 58 and 53 kills, good stuff. Celtic slingers, 5, not getting a whole lot of kills, but I mean, I guess they were pretty crucial in just focus firing, just sharing the kills amongst them. Getting rid of some very important units on the battlefield. Levy Freeman, again, not doing the best amount of kills, but just acting as speed bumps for lots of cav or infantry charges, that kind of thing. And the sword followers doing what they do best, which is getting rid of enemy infantry, that kind of thing. So, pretty good stuff. Do you want to go over the Rome build there?
Yeah, sure. Looks like 5 kills for the Legatus, so again, pretty much useless, like we said before. Auxiliary cav, pretty expensive units, only getting 60 kills and 12. The Saki Equite only getting her 14, 22. The Levies 28 and 4. The Evocatis averaging about 100, with the exception of 1. The Legionaries at 42, 15, and 24. A Veteran Legionary at 98. And the Vigiles getting just about no kills, so acting pretty much shields. So I hope that both players SH GRIL and TGR Horatius. Really appreciate you both playing in this FIB. And as far as I go, this is Seraphim signing off. Juju, you want to say something to both players?
Yeah, man, thanks for having me. Thanks for both of the players for playing that match. Very entertaining stuff. Let's see how round 3 goes. This has been pretty close. 2 excellent players, and it's going to amount to a nice little final here.
I'm very, very excited.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for having me, Seraphim. See you soon.